For countless women captured by pirates, the battle was the safest part of the journey. In those moments, the pirates forgot about the ceaseless abuse, rape, and beatings. For once, the cannons fell silent. The women found themselves in a world upon the water where every new sunrise depended on the greed, discipline, or cruelty of armed strangers. And a single decision aboard the pirate ship could mean a ransom, years of captivity, or being cast overboard in an instant. Write your ideas for future videos. Your opinion is important to us. Picture the year 1718. Stand upon the weather-darkened wharf of Nassau before sunrise and breathe the damp air drifting across the harbor, carrying the smell of rotting oak saturated with centuries of salt water. Warm pine tar bubbling between deck seams, damp hemp rope, stale fish, burning whale oil, and lingering sulfur from cannon drills performed only hours before dawn. Every mast creaks beneath shifting trade winds, while loose blocks strike against shrouds with hollow wooden knocks. Gulls scream overhead, and waves slap rhythmically against hull planking, whose tumble-home curves inward above immense futtocks secured by hundreds of hand-forged iron spikes. Somewhere beyond the crowded anchorage, a merchant brig of roughly 200 tons heels beneath fresh wind, unaware that black sails already rise beyond the horizon. For countless women crossing the Atlantic during the late 17th and early 18th centuries, pirate captivity represented neither immediate execution nor romantic adventure, but a terrifying uncertainty where survival depended upon understanding dozens of unpredictable personalities living inside an armed floating society. Contrary to later fiction, pirates rarely kidnapped women simply for entertainment. Merchant ships seldom carried many female passengers, making every encounter unusual enough to provoke disagreement among captains and crews governed by their own articles of agreement. Those written codes frequently regulated shares of captured treasure, compensation for battle injuries measured in pieces of 8, punishment for theft, and even extinguishing candles after certain hours. Yet few contained detailed instructions concerning female captives. That legal silence forced decisions to emerge from circumstance rather than doctrine, creating situations where one captain ordered protection while another tolerated abuse or ransom negotiations depending upon discipline, available supplies, political pressure, and the strategic value of every prisoner. Once a merchant vessel struck its colors after cannon fire shattered spars and rigging. Boarding parties crossed using grappling hooks forged from wrought iron and thick hemp cables capable of supporting several armed men simultaneously. Flintlock pistols weighing nearly 3 pounds hung beside naval cutlasses whose slightly curved blades measured close to 30 inches, while boarding axes remained tucked into belts for cutting tangled rigging or smashing locked companionway doors. Every captured passenger immediately entered an environment dominated by logistics rather than chaos. Water casks had to be inventoried, powder magazines inspected for moisture, damaged sails patched with heavy canvas stitched using palm needles, and valuable cargo recorded before division. Women who understood sewing, navigation records, herbal medicine, cooking, accounting, or multiple languages often became unexpectedly useful. A woman capable of repairing linen shirts, sailcloth, stockings, or officer coats preserved precious textile resources impossible to replace during long cruises. Others translated Spanish, French, Dutch, or Portuguese documents seized aboard captured vessels, helping identify profitable cargoes, concealed banking correspondence, or letters of marque that transformed an apparently innocent merchantman into legitimate wartime prey. Their survival therefore frequently depended less upon physical strength than practical usefulness. Pirates themselves suffered constant shortages of trained specialists because battle casualties, tropical disease, infected wounds, and desertion steadily reduced experienced manpower. Every individual able to contribute something valuable increased the efficiency of the vessel, and efficiency meant longer survival beneath constant pursuit by increasingly powerful naval squadrons. Conditions below deck challenged every captive regardless of status. Air circulation remained poor inside crowded wooden hulls, whose frames expanded and contracted with humidity. Bilge water collected beneath ceiling planks, mixing seawater, leaked lamp oil, spoiled food, rat droppings, mold, and decaying organic matter into a foul liquid whose odor permanently saturated clothing. Hammocks swung only inches apart, while barrels containing salted beef, dried peas, oatmeal, biscuit, vinegar, and fresh water occupied every available space not reserved for cannon tackle or powder storage. During tropical crossings, internal temperatures climbed dramatically, encouraging insects and accelerating food spoilage despite constant efforts to ventilate holds through open hatchways whenever weather permitted. Women forced to remain aboard adapted quickly to routines governing survival. They learned exactly when decks were holystoned using sandstone blocks, when careening operations required unloading equipment onto remote beaches, and when approaching hurricanes demanded every loose object be secured with additional lashings. Observing these patterns reduced danger because panic aboard a ship carrying dozens of loaded iron cannon, thousands of pounds of black powder, and towering masts exceeding 80 feet could become deadlier than enemy gunfire. Experienced captives recognized the subtle sounds indicating changing weather, from tightening shrouds vibrating under fresh wind, to deep groans emerging from keelson timbers under increasing wave pressure, allowing them to anticipate violent maneuvers before shouted commands echoed across the deck. Historical court records reveal that captivity ended through remarkably different paths. Wealthy passengers could sometimes be exchanged for ransom negotiated through colonial governors, merchants, or influential relatives able to assemble payment in coin, sugar, tobacco, or commercial credit. Others regained freedom when pirate vessels accepted royal pardons offered by imperial authorities, hoping to reduce maritime violence without endless naval campaigns. Several women escaped during careening operations when ships lay temporarily immobilized upon isolated beaches. Their hulls tilted sideways so carpenters could scrape away barnacles, shipworm damage, and marine growth before applying fresh layers of heated tar, pitch, resin, and animal fat. During those vulnerable maintenance periods, armed watches remained alert because an immobilized vessel could neither maneuver nor flee. Escape therefore demanded extraordinary knowledge of tides, mangrove swamps, coral reefs, and freshwater sources. Even successful fugitives faced malaria, dehydration, venomous animals, and dense tropical forests before reaching settlements. Others survived by blending quietly into pirate communities such as Nassau, where legal authority fluctuated constantly and populations shifted with every arriving squadron. Colonial officials later struggled to identify former captives because clothing, accents, occupations, and even names often changed after months or years spent within multilingual maritime societies shaped by commerce, violence, and necessity. Popular mythology portrays pirate ships as places ruled entirely through drunken impulse. Yet daily existence relied upon disciplined maritime labor demanding constant attention to engineering and seamanship. Bronze cannon weighing more than 2,000 pounds required careful maintenance because verdigris corrosion weakened fittings, while iron trucks beneath gun carriages absorbed tremendous recoil during firing. Powder grains manufactured from approximately 75% saltpeter, 15% charcoal, and 10% sulfur ignited through incandescent combustion that expanded gases with explosive speed, launching solid iron shot capable of punching through oak hull planking nearly 2 feet thick before splintering timber into lethal wooden fragments. Women witnessing naval combat understood immediately that remaining below deck during action could prove as dangerous as standing beside loaded guns. Flying splinters frequently inflicted catastrophic wounds, while smoke from repeated broadsides filled enclosed spaces with choking residue. After battle ended, everyone aboard often assisted with pumping water, carrying bandages, stitching torn sails, cleaning blood from decks using seawater and sand, or preparing simple meals for exhausted crews. Survival became a collective mechanical process where practical contribution frequently outweighed social hierarchy, illustrating how maritime reality differed profoundly from dramatic legends invented generations later. The greatest misconception surrounding female pirate captivity is the belief that every story followed one inevitable pattern. Reality across the Caribbean, the Atlantic approaches, the Indian Ocean, and the western coast of Africa proved vastly more complicated because each voyage unfolded according to weather, economics, naval pressure, leadership, disease, available supplies, and the personalities trapped together within a constantly moving wooden fortress. Some women endured only hours before ransom secured release. Others survived months awaiting safe exchange, while a small number eventually integrated into maritime communities through necessity rather than choice. Their experiences reflected the broader truth of the Golden Age of Piracy itself. Behind every black flag stood not supernatural villains, but highly organized seafarers operating sophisticated vessels built from thousands of carefully shaped oak components, driven by mathematical navigation, disciplined sail handling, intricate financial customs, and relentless calculations of risk. For women caught inside that dangerous world, endurance depended upon observation, adaptability, useful knowledge, emotional restraint, and extraordinary resilience amid an environment where every rolling wave, every tightening rope, every creaking futtock, and every distant sail upon the horizon could determine whether captivity ended with freedom, another voyage into uncertainty, or simple survival until the next sunrise.